It says streaming ain't available, but I'm going to assume that it's available. Because that's how it was last time.
You're determined to trip me up today.
Good morning,
Good
Melissa.
morning.
And got junk. Did I say Melissa? I swear I said Melissa.
I think
Dang
you
it.
said Melissa.
I hope so.
I
Because
think you
I keep
did.
getting it wrong. Good morning, Melissa. And got junk in our trunk and FD964.
Good morning, Francis from Indy. Indy.
Is it
I've been
windy? Is it windy in Indy? Because Mom texted me just now from Missouri, north of St. Louis, and she said it was 15 and windy and snowing.
Oh no! Why are we still just spinning up there?
I don't know.
Okay. Hopefully we're better than we've been on for a bit. If we didn't, good morning. We were talking away, but I realized it was spinning up there, so I wasn't quite sure if we'd seen you guys or if we were on already.
Good morning, Fun Finds Outpost and JRKR.
Good morning, everybody. Lovely blizzard here this morning. Y'all, our weather alarm radio thingamabob started going off at what, 3:30 this morning?
Something like that.
It went off at 3:30, it went off at 4 something, it went off at 6 something, with severe thunderstorms in our area.
But we never got hit with anything, really.
I don't think so. I never heard it. I usually can hear the wind if it's really bad. I never really heard it.
It was a little windy. It goes, for Tennessee, we live in a very large county. So if it's hitting Greene County, like in the northwest, and we're never even going to have a cloud, we still get the alarm.
Yeah. Oh, it was... I didn't sleep between the first two, but I think I finally slept after the third one, just for a little bit longer.
Let's see, JRKR, 20 inches of snow and windy in Wisconsin. Dharma Lilu, she's in Wisconsin too, I believe. 4-foot drift in front of the garage.
No.
And Fun Finds us Outpost is getting it this afternoon. And Melissa says it is windy there.
Yeah, we've been going between heat and air. Heat and air. And I'm about to turn the air back on because it's been on heat.
Is it on heat? No, we've been on
We're
air.
on air.
We're on air.
And it's about to hit like 20 degrees again here. So the heat will have to come back on. I can't even imagine what my electric bill is going to be because I just keep going up and down, up and down.
The Blue City Pickin'. Good morning.
Good morning, everybody.
It's Dharma Lilu's south of JRKR.
Oh. Nope. I'll take Tennessee weather any time. What was it they said? We're in Redbud winter right now? And we still got 2 more or something to go?
Yeah, we have the list of seasons here. We're in Redbud winter because when the redbuds start budding out, which ours are in the yard, then we get another cold spell. And then we have blackberry winter and dogwood winter coming yet.
Still. Crazy, crazy, crazy.
See, Memphis is freezing and windy. Yeah. So that means
It's coming our way.
Got junk in our trunk is freezing too then.
Yep.
Yeah, it's supposed to be. What is it tonight? It's supposed to be like 23 or something.
I don't know. It's 54 right now.
Yeah.
But I think it's just dropping.
24 tonight. High of 38 tomorrow.
38 tomorrow?
That's the high.
Yeah, the heat's going to have to come back on.
Hey, but the weather app is no longer red, so that's good.
That means the storms have passed.
Yeah, more winds tonight.
Yeah. Robert's got a project today.
I got one of those flowers that I'm gonna do these glasses that Rebel sold. They're kind of flimsy, thin.
Very thin Tiffin glass.
And she sold 13 of them. So I'm going to be packing them as, they used to do the old, she loves me not. So I'm going to do, she hates me, she loves me not. She hates me, she loves me not as I pack them.
But y'all, I had them in lots of 3. I mean, I had them in 3 lots. So 5, 4, 4 or something like that. And they sold for $50 each. So
To the same person.
To the same person. But, we're going to have to figure it. They paid individual shipping, and I told them as soon as we figure out how we're going to ship it, I'll give them a refund back.
Yeah, they asked for a combined invoice, and Rebel said we don't know the best way to pack it yet, so we'll pack it, and if you buy them all, then we'll pack it and we'll refund all the excess shipping over what we paid.
Yeah, but I mean, they're very thin glass. They're like, I want to say margarita glasses or something like that. I don't know. I don't even remember how much I paid for all of them. Or not martini. I can't even remember what I called them. Yeah, my sales were good. My sales were okay. We shipped Saturday. Saturday was really good. I had 20 to ship.
Is that all of them like this?
I think so.
They look like that. Could magnify your face in there.
Mm-hmm. I had 20, but I want to say like 13 of them were Poshmark. And then today I have 11 eBay and 11 non-eBay. Poshmark is really coming around for me. I'm very impressed. I mean, dollar-wise, nowhere near. But, you know, we can use their free shipping. And so that's saving a little bit of money. And then if you think about it, like for me right now, because I'm promoting again, their fees aren't actually as bad as eBay. Because by the time I run a 10% sale, I send 10% offers, and then 10 or so promotions. I'm already into 30% off of my original price. So
she's sounding real sharp and with it right now, but I have to remind her of that every now and then, because she starts, that's 20% fees on there. I'm like, Rebel.
Yeah, by the time, you know, my sales and everything else, you know, I list everything across all the platforms at the same price. I know some people disagree with that, but I just do. It just makes things easier. So we've already started pre-packing this morning.
Good morning, Tina's 8740. She's in Colorado Springs. I got 2 cousins and an aunt in Colorado. I'm pretty sure they're in Colorado. They used to be in Denver, but I'm pretty sure they're in Colorado Springs now.
Yep.
We might actually get to stop by and see Aunt Linda.
Don't read my brain.
I'm hoping to get to stop.
Yeah.
I don't get to see them very often because when we go back to Missouri, they're not back in Missouri.
Yeah.
And Aunt Linda, she lived in Missouri until Christmas, or well, early December, and then she went to, because she has a son in Missouri, and then her other son and daughter are in Colorado, so she went to stay out there with them.
Yep.
Because all the Missouri grandkids are grown up, and then she's still got younger grandkids out in Colorado, so she's out there enjoying life with them.
Sorry, y'all. Choking on the coffee.
I don't think we'll get to the post office, and it's only 10 blocks away. Just walk, put them snowshoes on, and start hoofing it.
Nope. Oh.
I'm going out this afternoon after the snow blowing's done. You know, I got a cousin up in Wisconsin, too. I just don't know where she is.
Rachel?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
She and her husband, and they got 2 kids, 3
Three.
kids?
Three.
They moved up there. I can't keep track of them.
Nope.
Let me see where she's at. She might say.
But,
She says Antigo. She's in Antigo, Wisconsin, wherever that is.
Oh, schools are closed there. Not now. I guess schools are open, even though sometimes, you know, even with us, because in such a heavy thunderstorm, you know, we'll get branches on the roads, and sometimes they'll either delay school or close school, but I didn't know. We don't have kids in public school anymore, so I don't get the notifications. It just happens to be a Facebook post or something that I'll see if I'm aware.
We used to do, because when we homeschooled, we always told the kids that, you know, they said, well, we'll never have snow days ever again. And I said, if the county's on, because we live in the county school district, if the county's on a snow day, then we'll do a snow day. And then once Rebels boys were all done with school and it was just RJ at homeschooled, his mom's and her kids live in the city school district, so we started doing city school snow
he
days.
could spend time with his siblings when they had snow days.
We sort of followed their holidays and stuff so they could, you know, spend more time together. Of course, the city doesn't get nearly as many snow days either.
Oh, good morning, sassy squirrel. Got our first Etsy sale over the weekend, but I struggled with it. I am used to the ease of eBay. Should be able to print longer. Oh yeah, you have to go into their shipping settings and make sure you set it to the 4x6.
And you got to make sure to click all 19 buttons to actually make the label print instead of just a couple.
Yeah, and yeah. I've got 2 Etsy's this morning, 2 Mercaris. I want to say 6 or so. 6 or 7 Poshmark.
Mary, Milwaukee, we only have 10.5 inches so far.
I couldn't figure out how to adjust the measurements and weight.
There's definitely do we have any Etsy's?
We have 2.
All right, well, maybe we'll talk through that as we go through it.
Yeah. I will look at all the screens to make sure you have it set up with the 4x6 label. Yeah, I like Etsy. You know, people just tend to, buy the higher dollar stuff on there. I did start a sale. I hadn't had a sale in a couple of days, so I started a 10% sale on there and immediately sold 2 things. So
That's sure you need to keep a sale going.
I know. I forget about it. I set them for like a whole month. Not like I do on eBay where I, every week do 2 sales.
Maybe you should just do it every week. Just like this same schedule as eBay. That way it stays in your mind.
Yeah, I'm lucky some days to remember to start it, and especially start yours. Don't start throwing all the other stuff on me. But, yeah, I like Etsy. But, yeah, they're totally different. And, like, I get... I'm used to my daily payouts on eBay, and then it's the weekly payouts on Etsy, and then Poshmark and Mercari. It's up to you when you're going to get your payout. But make sure, no matter what, do not keep very much money in your balances on Poshmark and Mercari. Mercari's terrible for shutting you down for whatever reason, temporarily. And Poshmark, I don't trust their suspension stuff anymore, so I'm not leaving very much money in either one of them at any given time.
Got Junk in Our Trunk has 9 eBays and 11 on Etsy.
There you go. Yeah. I haven't been putting as much on Etsy. Pretty much everything that I wanted on Etsy is on Etsy with a few exceptions. So the only thing that really goes on Etsy these days is the new stuff I'm listing, if it's appropriate.
Yeah, so you're really listing on the other platforms. So
Yeah.
the other platforms are growing quite a bit.
Yep. And I found out an issue this weekend. Well, let's talk about Mercari first. Be careful with Mercari. Watch your listings. I don't think it's a Nifty thing. But especially if you're on Nifty and you're cross-listing and you're letting them do your relists, I'm still having duplicates. Yesterday when I went in to look, I was off by 5. The number that's on Nifty shows on Nifty that I had this amount, and Nifty was saying I had 5 more. And when I went into just the last couple of days, I actually had 6 over. So now I'm 1 under. But just pay attention to your Nifty numbers every day.
Nifty and Mercari.
Nifty and Mercari especially.
There's something going on between the two.
Yep.
Some bad blood.
Yep. And then I found out yesterday it wouldn't let me do a full resync at all on Nifty. I was trying to see if I could figure out why the one number was off. Come to find out, when you have a lot of listings on there, I have like 8,000 on eBay, over 6 on Mercari and Poshmark. The full sync doesn't work anymore. I have to contact them anytime I want a full sync, and their tech department, their background people will run the full sync for me. So that was weird.
Yeah, once you hit a total of 20,000 lists, you only have 8,000.
Right.
But between all the platforms, it's over 20,000. So they do it on their end.
They want to watch it more closely to make sure there's no issues, which I appreciate.
Blue City Pickin says, Etsy is definitely a learning curve. I had 3 yesterday. My average sale price over there is significantly higher than eBay and Posh.
Yep.
That's good. Get that. Because if your sale price is higher, that means your price to packaging materials ratio is higher, which is good.
Yep.
So I noticed I had a duplicate listings on Mercari.
Just pay attention. Anytime you list over there, basically what I would do is every morning go in there and scroll down and make sure you're not seeing. They always seem to be back to back to back. It's not one here and one in another spot. They're back to back to back. So there's some kind of issue with them. And like yesterday, of the 4 listings that I had to deal with, only one of them was a relist that Nifty had done the previous day. The rest were just, I don't know what happened. But I had, 2 duplicates, and then a single duplicates.
I'm trying to get Rebel to let me know when this stuff happens, but she usually discovers it in the morning while I'm still sleeping, and she gets hysterical.
I do not.
And then you start doing things, and then I can't get her to fix it.
I messed up yesterday.
But my theory on determining, because we have a good solid inventory on eBay, unless eBay's dropped something. So what I've suggested to Rebel next time is on Nifty, you can go in and say, show me everything that I have on Mercari. There's a box you can say, put the check mark on Mercari, and it will only show you the things on Mercari. Then you could check the X on eBay, and it will show you the ones that are on Mercari and not on eBay, and that should point out any duplicate listings.
No, because the 5 were on only Mercari. Nifty wasn't picking them up. So Nifty has no idea what's extra on Mercari.
Oh, because they're not even in Nifty yet.
Yeah, they're not in Nifty.
Oh.
And they don't show up until if you did a full sync.
Do a quick sync. Do a quick sync first.
That might work.
Yeah, do a quick sync. That'll pull them. That will let Nifty pick them up, so they'll be in Nifty in Mercari. Then do the check Mercari X eBay, and you'll know the ones that are on Mercari and not on eBay. And those should be the ones that are problems. But eBay drops things.
Yeah.
So you have to make sure that you actually have 2 of them. When you find one, make sure that you also have another one, and you're not just removing something that is that got dropped by eBay.
Yeah.
And they all show up because we have all that information in our custom SKU. They show up as nothing in the custom SKU.
Yep. So it's a Mercari thing. But yesterday, y'all, I messed up. My brain, I know, don't do anything off of Nifty. If you have a cancellation on eBay, don't let eBay relist it. Just go back into Nifty and copy it and relist it from there. That way your numbers are all correct and you don't have to do a quick sync and all of that stuff. But yesterday, my brain, I went into Mercari and just deleted the extra ones. And it was like, when I deleted the extras, 2 of them, I deleted the linked listing.
Instead of the extra listing.
Yeah, instead of the extra, it turned into a, don't do anything off of Nifty. Do it through Nifty, and that way everything's right. Yeah, quick sync works, but this is my thoughts on the quick sync, and I don't know if anybody else has seen this issue, but anytime I do a quick sync to bring in something, all of a sudden some of my other prices aren't accurate anymore. It's pulled in sell prices. On just random stuff, not even rhyme or reason to it. There's probably is, I just haven't seen it. But if I do a quick sync and then I get back to cross-listing way somewhere else, I notice that my sell price is on some of the listings. So I don't care.
Instead of the listed price.
Right, instead of my original listed price. So I try not to do the quick syncs very much. I just, it's a whole, to me, then my prices are wrong, and I have to remember as I'm cross-listing to the other platforms that I need to fix the price before I cross-list, and yeah, it's just been kind of tedious. Man, I love that feature. That whole not the quick sync, the resyncs. Love that feature.
And it's fast. Sassy Squirrel, what is quick sync? Quick sync is, suppose that you go out and you decide that you're nervous. 'Cause I can't remember who I was talking to, or they made a comment that they're still listing on eBay because they're comfortable with that, and then they're importing it into Nifty. Well, when you list it on eBay, you do a quick sync, and then Nifty goes out, looks at the platforms, and says, "Oh, here's a new listing on eBay that we don't have," and it brings it into Nifty for you. That's the purpose of the quick sync.
Yeah, but
It's not supposed to pull in any other changes, but for some reason we've noticed, like Rebel was saying, that it picks up some sale prices sometimes instead of the actual. It picks up sale prices and changes the Nifty price on things that already existed, and we don't think it should be.
Yeah.
I gotta find a way to find out specific items that it's done to and when it did it, so that I can contact support and say this is a problem, so they can figure that one out.
Yeah, they've been very receptive as far as, when we bring up an issue, that they'll explain, what's happening, what's wrong, if it's us, if it's them.
Let's see, FD 964. I'm only selling on eBay. I only have 800 listings. Nervous about branching out. I would say, y'all tell her, what's the easiest one to branch out to?
Poshmark.
Poshmark? Okay. Then if you want to be brave, branch out and start cross-listing to Poshmark only.
But if you have low dollar stuff, I don't encourage. I cap mine at $10.
You bottom
Everything,
it.
yeah,
You
bottom
floor
it, yeah, because anything under $15 on Poshmark, they charge a flat rate of $2.95 fee. So even at my $10 things, when they sell, I'm making $7.05.
Yeah, so
Which
don't.
it's old stuff, but Mercari, I put everything. The low dollar stuff, the high dollar stuff.
But Mercari caps you at 100 listings until you sell 5. So I would suggest go to Poshmark, start cross-listing on Poshmark, but don't cross-list anything under, like, you could pick whatever amount you want, but Rebels pick $10.
Only on my old, no, everything. I've just been doing $10.
Yep, and then it's easy.
There's no
Anything-
way, you don't have to, unless, and the other stipulation with Poshmark is over 5 pounds is you have to pay additional. You pay the additional shipping. So I keep most things under 5 pounds, which is most, unless I have a really heavy toy. I don't put them on there. So just kind of keep that in mind. Fix your dollar amount and nothing over 5 pounds, unless it's high dollar.
And if you have questions about getting started on there, send Rebel or me an email, Rebel or Robert, whichever, at therebelreseller.com, and we'll help you get started.
Yeah, Sassy Squirrel. This is a nifty thing.
The quick sync is. It's
Yeah.
inside of Nifty. Melissa, Mercari doesn't like to play well with others. I had trouble with it, and Vin do too. That's the post I saw on Facebook from Nifty, and in one of the groups said that there's an issue with the Mercari API that causes it.
Yeah.
And having been around the software world and the hardware world, sometimes companies like to point fingers at each other, because we would have Microsoft and Oracle. We'd have Oracle running on Microsoft servers, and if something wasn't right, Oracle and Microsoft were standing there pointing their fingers at each other, blaming each other in our support tickets. But if when we had SQL Server, then Microsoft had to point its finger at itself, and Microsoft had to figure it out. So you end up with that going sometimes.
I'm trying to read. Yeah, right here. Pig Star Patch. We got a negative review on Etsy, but the buyer hadn't even contacted us to tell us what the problem was. Is there anything we can do? No, they will not. I had somebody leave me a 1-star on there because they had bought this pot, and when they were using it, they broke it. But, they said that it definitely wasn't my fault, but they gave me a 1-star review, and I contacted Etsy, and they would not. Rhonda, chime in if you can, if you've ever got them to change any bad feedback. Just keep on keeping on. It stinks, and yeah, I don't think they go away like eBay. They're there forever. I've had a couple, so you just, there's certain people you can't please. You can block them though. And I have gone in anytime I see basically a thing that they either left me a review that had nothing to do with my service and maybe just about, the product in and of itself. I just go in and block them.
So you got junk in our trunk. Etsy's my highest volume sales platform and has been for about a year now. So yeah, she's got a ton of experience on there, and it would be the one that would know what you can get changed on there. And then Dharma Lilu says you can check for duplicates using Nifty. She's had a couple, and yes, if the listing is inside of Nifty,
Duplicated.
and you should be able to find it. They have and they're on the inventory page in one of the drop downs, I think it is now. You can pick duplicates, and it will show anything that it perceives to be a duplicate. It may or may not be, because we have it in there sometimes that
I have like loveys that are different condition, so I don't list them under each other, and it will ask initially. But the problem with Mercari is Mercari's duplicating them, and they're not in Nifty. It's just the number that Nifty says I have 5,000, and Mercari, when you go to the seller dashboard, it tells you how many you have, and it says I have 5,005. So I know there's a disconnect there, and it's Mercari duplicating. Exactly. Mercari does not penalize you if you have to cancel. And I've had to do that once in the last month because I'm positive Mercari duplicated a listing. One of my new listings. It sold on Poshmark. It shows on Nifty that everything was delisted, but I didn't catch it, and then it sold on Mercari, so I had to cancel it. But try not to do eBay first and foremost. Poshmark, be careful, because they are really getting particular with their cancellations. It's like 3% of your...
But define cancellation.
Yeah.
Nobody quite knows. Some people don't have a problem removing listings that have sold on other platforms, and other people
are getting suspended.
Getting suspended for
7 days and 2 weeks and permanent bans because they are taking down listings that sold elsewhere. But so far, knock on wood, I have not had any problems. And I take down a lot because I'm trying to combine inventory right now and make lots. And if it's already on Mercari and Poshmark, I just delist, change it, throw it right back on there. And so far, I've been lucky, I guess. I think because I have the numbers on there now. I'm over 6,000 listings on Poshmark.
Let's see. Dharma Lilu said the sale prices in Nifty, I'm assuming, will go away after the sale ends, which is good. That it'll revert back. That. The problem Rebel's running into is she has a couple thousand more items that she needs to cross list, and if Nifty has picked up the sale price inside of Nifty and she cross lists, it's going to get cross listed to the other platforms at the sale price instead of the regular price.
Luckily for me, all of my listings end in 95 cents. So if I see something, it at least catches my attention if something isn't 95 cents.
And then JRKR says Mercari doesn't like VPNs. You need to turn it off when she lists. She has to turn it off. Yeah, I typically don't run a VPN, but I do occasionally. If I'm at a hotel or something like that, sometimes if I have to connect to a public Wi-Fi for some reason, I'm definitely running a VPN. And some VPNs are better than others. I personally use Proton. They're Swiss, super. They don't give your information out to anybody unless they get a court order from a Swiss court. So, not that I'm doing anything illegal. I'm just I get kind of grumpy about the way the tech companies spy on us.
Yeah. Louisville, Kentucky, and it's snowing. Y'all keep the snow up there. I don't want it, but I think we're supposed to maybe get some flakes. But we're back to is it going to be nothing for part of us and, 2 inches for the higher elevations or something more? We don't know.
Got junk in our trunk. Says she hasn't received that many low reviews on Etsy, but did try and get revised early on. I don't bother anymore unless it warrants a public response, which you can do for any reviews that are 3 stars or under.
Oh.
And sometimes that's just what you have to do on those. If they won't remove it, just go in and say, this buyer is stupid.
No. No.
Okay, maybe not.
Talk, just say, they did not contact you to give you a chance to fix the situation. You offer refunds, the same stuff that we have to do on eBay.
Or this item was working when I shipped it, and it was in a box and well packed, and they didn't, all that. And basically, you explain very gently that the buyer is stupid, without using that word.
Coming from the person who has to calm me down sometimes in my responses. Yeah. How do I run a sale on Etsy? I can't get to marketing. I am trying on my laptop. Let me go look. Let me looky. Let me go open up Etsy. Of course, I don't have it open.
Gotta log in. Oh, you don't even, yeah.
Yeah, under marketing, if you can't get, I don't know why you couldn't get to marketing. If you are in the seller,
the shop
Etsy,
manager.
Yeah, the shop manager, under marketing, there's a thing for sales and discounts. And then under there, you scroll down where it says drive traffic and move inventory. There's a run a sale. Be careful. They want to try and force you to start your sale at 25%. But if you click custom, you can go in and change it to whatever you want. I do 10%, just like I do on eBay. But if you're not able to get to marketing, then you need to contact them and find out why. But yeah.
See, Blue Moo Gabby says, slow weekend, but had some good sales on Poshmark. So there you go.
Hello, Gabby.
Got junk in her trunk, needs to find her glasses for the typos. That's her saying it, not me.
Yeah. Melissa, let me know if you were able to figure it out. Can't
Let's
get
see.
to marketing.
Sassy Squirrel Stash. Wait, what? Did you say you were getting penalizing for canceling listings? Poshmark is penalizing people for...
Taking
we don't know.
listings, yeah.
No, it's unclear, but essentially if you cancel a sale because it's sold somewhere else, people are getting penalized. Seems to be the main point of what they're after.
You need to keep on top of that stuff. But also, some people are saying they're getting suspended just for delisting their stuff when it sells on another platform.
And other people aren't having a problem with that.
It's I don't know. I don't understand it either. I truly should have been suspended because I took everything down off my Poshmark because I wasn't planning on getting back on Poshmark. I was planning on putting, using Robert's Poshmark and Mercari, but it ended up not working out, and then I went right back and started. I've done that twice, but the first time was before they started this whole stuff, but the second part was probably January, December, somewhere in there. I took down, it wasn't a lot. It was like 30 listings, but still.
But you weren't taking them down because they sold and you couldn't ship it.
Right. No,
So
I was planning on not. Yeah, none of them were cancels.
And I completely understand Poshmark dinging you, just like eBay does. If you sell it and you can't ship it, you should get a ding because you have now caused an unhappy customer. And that's worth a ding.
Right. And I think Poshmark's also trying to stop the sellers who, like, every day, they have 100 listings, and every day they take their listings down and relist to put them back at the top, of the platform. And so that's why they're going after the people. Supposedly you should never, never, never delist and relist an item on there prior to 60 days. I think I have mine. I don't even think I have it turned on yet because I haven't been listing very long on there again. Mid-January.
I think we set it at 75.
But yeah, we were going to set it at 75 days.
I'm going to put this is the sales and discounts. That's what we have, Melissa, for the URL for the sales and discounts on Etsy.
See if you can get into that. Yeah. But Etsy also has it that if, somebody puts a thing in their cart and then they don't buy it, you can set up a thing where you can send them a coupon or whatever to entice them to go ahead and buy it. Or if there's a couple of different ones. I don't do them, but maybe I should. Maybe I should try it.
Encourage them. That's what Zorro does. Apparently it works for them.
Yeah, but my thing with that, though, I'm cheap. I don't want to run a 10% sale and then send them a 10% coupon. Although, you think about it, it's still better than eBay as far as fees. That is the one she used. Yeah, you need to contact them. Maybe you're so new. Aren't you kind of sort of new on Etsy? Maybe they have a time frame that you have to be on there before they open that stuff up. I don't know.
Or a number of sales or something.
Number of sales. I would contact customer support. I don't care for their customer support, though. Did anybody else see? And I usually see a lot of stuff because I'm in a lot of Facebook groups that you no longer can use eBay on Facebook. You have to go through
The eBay for business
site. Yeah, you can't do it no longer was called eBay for business.
Oh.
They took that part away and it was just eBay. But now if you go to the Facebook page for eBay, there is no, where you can send a message. Which that really, really stinks because, I had better luck when I had issues. Before, when I wasn't concierge. I'm not concierge now, but I've not had an issue. Knock on wood. But yeah, now you can't go through Facebook to contact eBay anymore.
Looks like Melissa found the sale link on Etsy, which is good.
Yep.
And then Got Junk on Our Trunk does not do sales at all, but does the abandoned cart.
Oh, you do the abandoned cart?
Because that's targeting people that were specifically interested in your item.
Looking. That's a good idea. But yeah, to me too, I would be one or the other. And maybe I'll switch it out at the end of the month and try the other one and see if that helps.
Or do both. You two tightwads. All right, y'all.
He's packing.
I'm working. I got half dozen of these already. Actually, I got 7. I'm past halfway done with these.
There you go. 6 more. And I've pre-packed some stuff that are on the other platforms, but yeah.
You got. They all have like probably 2 pieces of small bubble wrap around them when Rebel stored them in their packet in their bags, and now they're each getting 2 layers of. So we're gonna have like 52 pieces of bubble wrap invested in this.
$150. It's worth it. $150.
It is.
But my deal is, we'll try to figure out a box, one big box, and get a price quote on that. But I'm going to also check UPS.
Did they say that she said UPS would be all right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, she
that's
said,
gonna help.
yeah. So I'm hoping. I don't trust the post office and insurance anymore. I don't. Or the care that they take with handling fragile items. So more than likely, hopefully. I just don't know if putting 13 Tiffin glasses in a single box is smart either.
And getting them bagged or bundled up like this first is going to give me a lot better idea of the size. And because these are thin, and I'm not wrapping them like when I wrap a coffee cup just in bubble wrap, it has 2 layers of bubble wrap all around it.
Right.
These have 1 in parts, and the top is kind of thin, so they'll be okay against each other because they'll both have bubble wrap around them. But I'm going to make sure this has air pillows all around, top and bottom, all the sides, inside the box.
I just worry about the weight, like the ones on the bottom. And if they put a box on top of our box, and that's pressing the top down, I don't want the bottom ones to get crushed.
It won't.
You don't think?
If they put a box on top of the box, it's not. I mean, now if they put like a bowling ball in the center of it and it weights the center down,
well, yeah,
because it's a really small. If we have a really large box and they put a small heavy box in the middle of it, that could cause it to swag a little there.
Through the help.
Oh,
That's good. Now, is that on Etsy or is that on eBay?
Etsy, I think which one we were talking about. Etsy.
I've not. I sent out half of my packages on Saturday. Still have at least another 20. Ooh, that's good. That's good. Yeah, I didn't want to wait because there was something we sold that was high dollar. And if I sell something high dollar, I really want to get it moving very quickly. So that was the reason. I can't remember what it was, though.
We went to a couple yard sales over the weekend. Bought clothes.
It was terrible. Oh, and if Annette's in here, we're going to be in Asheville Wednesday. We've got to go. We let ourselves run out of one of the boxes. We don't use it a whole lot, but when all of a sudden you have none, of course you're going to find something that would have been perfect for that box. So we're going to do a box.
It's our 1084 box.
Yeah. But we were almost out of 864s, and we used that a lot.
Let's see, Pam Volker. Have you had Mercari set your new listings to free shipping recently? It happened to all my new items last week.
Nope, and I ain't looked.
Yeah, we should go check that. Yeah. Remember, they were doing a big...
They did change, supposedly, all of our listings that were already in Ground Saver or the FedEx one. They did change the prices for us to do the $4.99 special that they've got going right now, supposedly. But knock on wood, I'm saying that a lot today because there's so much stuff that's out of our control. But I've not ever had them change stuff like that. Let's see, newest first. Let me go back to, like today, I listed this. I've been doing like 6, 7, 8 things a day. And everything's been going to Poshmark and Mercari because I'm not listing anything big right now. No, all of mine are fine. But yeah, that would stink. I'm looking, no. Yeah, I'd be perturbed. I did have that happen one time on Mercari a long time ago. That all of a sudden, you know, it came up free. No, it didn't come up free shipping. It came up me having to go get the shipping label. Somehow it got changed to...
Well, like you were going to ship it on Pirate Ship or something?
Yeah, that I was going to do my own shipping, which I just don't. It's convenient just to pull up their labels and the good thing with Mercari is you can change your price. You don't get the discount, you know, but if your packages are the wrong size, can you? No. I take that back. I don't think you can change your labels on Poshmark or Mercari. Yeah, no. Take that back. Edit that out, Robert.
Good luck. Actually, technically that can happen. I can go in and find the spot.
Fix the other one.
You can actually go into the YouTube studio and trim stuff.
No.
But that ain't happening.
No. I don't know where my brain went. I think it was like when you're listing stuff, you can change what automatically pops up if you need to.
You can on Etsy. But
Yeah, Etsy and eBay, you can fix your dimensions and your weight if you need to.
And in Etsy, you can also get shafted into paying for priority shipping when you don't want to because they just slip it in there, and if you ain't paying attention, you'll be paying for priority.
Yep.
Even though the buyer didn't pay for it.
Be careful. Anybody who's just starting on Etsy. Pay attention. Your buyer, it tells you on your shipping screen, your buyer picked. I think for them, it's parcel select or something is still Ground Advantage. They've never changed the wording. But Etsy will automatically click on priority, and you've got to change it.
Mary says she usually goes on the Chat GPT and puts in the feedback, and they give me what to say. It truly matters.
Good idea. Good idea.
It's when you're dealing with. We learned this when dealing with Amazon because we would get dumb feedback on there on a regular basis, and some of it for a while you could get it removed, and then after a while you couldn't get it removed. But you have to find the words that are magic to the customer service reps' ears that will make them make the change that you want.
Yeah.
It falls, and typically it's got to be something to show that this falls outside the standards of allowable feedback. If you can get there with it, show how it violates a policy, essentially.
Exactly. And especially the ones where it didn't get delivered. All of those are easy, but sometimes. Let's see. Where did you go to that's such a good idea. I had to contact support to change the label on Poshmark. You have to email them, though. The customer used the wrong address. Told the buyer they could have done it on their end. Oh. Yeah, because you don't want to cancel them. Even if you put on there, buyer requested, any of that stuff, that counts against you. So...
Yeah, Melissa, it says buyer pick. If it says buyer pick priority, then I should leave it. Yes.
Yes.
If the buyer pick priority, leave it priority. I had one on eBay last week that, nobody picks priority, except last week somebody picked priority, and I could have used the
free
the
priority stuff.
padded bubble mailer that's priority for the jeans or whatever it was, which would have been nice. It would have saved, 10 or 15 cents or whatever. But yeah, I just don't think about it because nobody picks priority because it's more expensive. But sometimes
we have
they
it
do.
set up so that, not on my under 1 pounds. I don't have it set up where they could choose priority.
You sure?
Or
No,
did you?
everything's calculated. You don't have anything under 1 pound anymore.
Yeah.
On eBay, everything is
But I
calculated.
think I have it only as ground advantage when it's under 1 pound.
No, you don't have anything set to under 1 pound. Everything is calculated.
I know that, but
And they're all the same. They're all the same business policy.
True.
So they all have priority.
I am having mental deficiencies this morning.
She's gone back to pre-business policies, y'all.
Yeah.
Business policies make it easy. You just got it. We set it. It's calculated.
Ground
and
advantage,
advantage is the default. And they can
priority.
also pick priority, and it just leaves it there for them.
Yeah. I don't even think about it anymore. He set all that up, and now I do all my listings through Nifty, and we have the shipping presets on there, so it fills in all my stuff. But yeah,
Easy and
I'm
peasy.
loving the AI on Nifty, loving it every day. All I have to do over here is picture, weight, item number, put it away, and then I can leave. I leave. But I am accumulating quite a few items that need the AI generation.
It helps a lot. It's just keywords that you didn't think of or something.
Nope. All right, let me get in here and do some shipping.
And the aesthetics for clothes really matter, I think. Mm-hmm. Mary says, my buyers pick priority all the time. It is such a rare thing. I probably have...
We probably had just that one this year.
Yeah, it's probably the only one this year. Maybe a couple times a year. Yeah, if the buyer picks priority, you definitely want to send it priority because they might need it within a certain time frame.
Alrighty, yep. 4 pounds, yep.
And then got junk in our trunk, doesn't have priority set up anymore. And then they have to use ground advantage or media, UPS. Or ground advantage or media or UPS with me only. Yep, we have for large things. Rebel has a shipping option for
UPS ground.
But maybe we just need to put that on the other ones too.
The UPS ground?
Yeah,
or the ground saver or whatever it is.
Just
maybe
maybe
since we have to go there quite
frequently.
often now because of Macari.
Yeah, we just put it on there and then people might pick that.
Yeah, that's a you thing. You have to go in and fix the business policies.
We just got to make sure to take it to the UPS store, not the post office. So.
Yeah, our post office just kind of looked at Robert like he was crazy when he asked, is there any way we can get that Macari package back?
It's one of those deals where I wanted to ask that day, and the girl at the counter was the girl that I did not want to ask, because I won't use the word incompetent, but
she doesn't really understand.
She doesn't want to do anything
new.
that requires any sort of effort beyond what she's required. Yes, I have a lot of you things. Got junk in our trunk. Rebel seems to just dish those out to me. That's a you thing. You do it.
That's a you thing. I'm retired. Kind of, sort of.
You're semi-retired.
I'm
That's where you are.
semi-retired for sure. What size box is this? 888-77666?
666. That's the Satan box.
I was going to change the number. Or the dimensions. Yeah, saved me 35 cents.
It does matter on that one.
But dang, $9.65 to mail a coffee cup to California.
I just want y'all to know, if Rebel ever divorces me, it's going to be because I didn't change the shipping dimensions to save 7 cents on a package.
Oh, that drives me nuts. I changed them just in case. 6 cents is 6 cents.
I change them when it matters.
I just saved myself 35 cents.
Yep.
That's profit.
That's one of the boxes you got to change it on.
Yeah. Oh no. Okay, no, we're good.
All right. Here we go.
Now you gotta figure it out.
2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Wait.
What is green? Oh, that base. Okay.
Still selling stuff from that $5 fill box sale. That's
From
where
where?
that came from, didn't it?
Oh,
Did
I
it?
think it did. Yes.
Yeah.
That was years ago.
It's been a few.
Yeah, look, the number 12.
Yeah, $17.95. So it's a green vase looking thing. There was an estate sale Rebel and I went to, and then RJ and I had to go to karate class or something. And then after karate class, I said, we're going to go to this estate sale, because at like 3 o'clock or something, they were going to do $5 fill a box, but they were doing like half price before that. So we went in during half price, and I went to this one room, and I said, I need you to get, and I pointed out like 4, 5, 6 different things. That's what you're going to get. And then I was going to go look at the rest of the stuff. And then I said, if you still have room in your box, fill it with whatever plush you think Rebel's going to like. And I got a whole bunch of this green, was it earthenware or something?
Yeah, just vases, and I forget the brand of some of that one. Francoma. A whole bunch of Francoma stuff.
Yeah, we sold a bunch. We made a bunch of money on that.
Mm-hmm. Here, I better get your stuff going so we don't forget it.
I'm thinking, just get one of the Walmart large boxes.
And then cut it down?
Yeah, cut the top
Well, I've
down.
got that one already put together.
Yeah, that's probably what I'll do.
And then we'll just maybe do UPS. I think UPS is going to be safest.
Yeah.
You have a question.
I have a question.
Oh, I think it's Robert has a question on
yes.
on a pair of Miss Me jeans, and all it says is hi.
Yes, and then I clicked on a profile and they're from Pakistan, so I'm not responding.
You know what? This is what you do to those. You go into the question right here and mark as answered. Don't ever leave your questions just sitting there. If you don't want to answer them, one of the drop downs in the message section is mark as answered. And that's what I do.
I'm assuming that's some sort of spam, and maybe that's from the spam we get from doing YouTube.
Yeah. All right. Ship your pants.
Do what?
Ship your pants. Robert!
You're the one that said it, not me.
I said ship your pants. You're bad.
You said it.
See, you guys get to hear live what he does to me all day long. $40.96. All right, we got 12 ounces. Yep. Just don't leave your... We had a friend who told us one time he had all kinds of questions on eBay that weren't, they just didn't get to, they were new and didn't understand how important it was. And he said their sales were just terrible. And he said one day he went in and just marked answered on all of these old ones that were just not worth, the time at that point, because it had been forever. And all of a sudden he started selling. So I do think, having good customer service also, yeah. Tina, yeah, he's a handful.
Don't be hateful up there.
That one's done. Yeah, Robert being bad is another you thing. If you guys could only hear some of the things he says to me, especially when we're recording to get the reaction.
I just gotta keep you smiling and happy.
And then we've learned, one of us has to say right after he's been inappropriate, take that out, Robert. Because that would be bad. But yeah, 14 years and he's still hilarious. One more for him. Do you pass along your discount for using eBay shipping? Yes. If not, how do you not give it and not show the cost on the label when going? If not, no, we do. But I do on my store, eBay store, I add a 35 cent handling fee. It's just the average or the upper cost of like a single box and maybe a bubble wrap type thing.
That's our cheap box.
Oh, that's our cheap box. Just to kind of help a little bit with the shipping costs.
When you print your label, there is a check box you can do that says print the actual shipping cost on the label, and that is unchecked by default when we go through the shipping process. So
yeah,
you would have to check that in order to show it.
If not, how do you not give it? You have to go up into your account settings under shipping, like at the top of your eBay Seller Hub, it'll say hi and it'll have your name. If you go in there and you go to your account settings and then you go into shipping preferences, there should be a thing on there that, like for me, I have eBay discount under rates and exclusions. I have it set up that I give the eBay discounted rates. And so, but you can click on that and also click off of that. And let's see, it'll say standard rates without discount. But y'all, those shipping prices are ridiculous. I honestly think
we used to just keep the extra.
We did.
But several years ago we switched.
Because the shipping has just become so expensive. And I was afraid I was going to lose more sales than not, because the shipping, more and more people were offering the discount, and then so I was no longer going to be competitive. Believe me, though, I fought that tooth and nail because,
tightwad.
And it was nice, making, usually less than $1, but all of that added up. But yeah, that's how you go in and you can change it where,
because some people will give like half of it. You can go in and set a percentage there, and some people will give half of the discount.
Yeah, there's a block on there that says custom discounted rates, and you can offer your buyers a custom percentage off the standard carrier rates. You're required to pay the amount discounted. So that's the easy easiest way. I just went in, and when we set up shipping policies, I just had it add, you know, some people do 50 cents, some people might do $1, but believe me, it's a whole lot less still to have a little bit of a handling fee than the ridiculous prices they're charging. $15% off shipping. Thinking of raising that discount, but won't give 100%. Yeah, I get that. I get that. I just, at this point, I need to move a lot of inventory. So it's worth it to me to just give my discount. But Robert doesn't give a discount. I mean, Robert gives them all of it. So, you know, all of the packing supplies and all of that, you know, is on us for that.
A little bit of the difference there is almost everything I ship goes in. I don't know what our poly bags cost, 10 cents or something.
Yeah, maybe.
Like,
or less.
I'm probably paying 10 cents per or less per shipping item because I don't.
Yeah, I ship a lot of stuff in boxes. A lot.
If you count the internal, the clear poly bag, I might have 15 cents in it, whereas Rebel's going to have the clear poly bag for 6 cents, and then a box. A lot of things goes in boxes. I'd say most go in the mailers.
Maybe, yeah.
Poly mailers.
I'm
but
looking
still,
right now, though, and I've got a whole lot of small boxes.
even if it's half and half, you know, you're saving a little bit that way, and it's not really raising your price too much.
I need to be competitive. Yeah, plush is just one of those categories, especially unless it's like the vintage, highly sought after stuff. I need to be, you know, I have to run the sales. I have to give the discounted shipping. And I'm fine with it. I'm making lots of profit because a lot of my stuff comes from the bins. So, yeah. Being more competitive depending on what we sell. You know, and I know other people who don't give it because they sell such highly sought after stuff. They don't have to. They're going to be able to sell. And it doesn't matter what the shipping is.
Yep, those one of a kind items are gonna go.
Yep.
When the right buyer comes along. They might sit
Yep.
for a while though.
12, 9, 3. See, I just saved 16 cents changing the dimensions. When I list clothes, we just have it set up that the dimensions are 12, 12, 3. Unless it's like a code or something bigger. But I try to always put in the actual measurements of a package. Because, like I said, that's covering the cost of the materials. You know, cumulative. Or at least helping. Ooh, it's raining outside. Raining.
All right. Let me pop this up here real quick.
Let me get out of the way. Let me get my label.
This is, y'all, a large Walmart box. And that's what I got so far for packing this. Now I have to decide, am I just going to cram this thing full of air pillows on top, or am I going to cut it down?
I think cutting it down
It's
the
going
best we
to
can is going to reduce
the shipping. Yeah, on this box, cutting it down is going to make a big difference. If this were something delicate in a box that was under a cubic foot, I would probably just go ahead and cram it full of air pillows. But because of the size, that's the reason for cutting it down. But I'm going to make sure that I got another layer of air pillows on top of this. And we have at least 2. I put 1 on the bottom. Kind of regretting not putting 2 down there, but
You can untape it and go ahead and add that to it when you're done.
yeah, flip it over.
Flip it over.
I'll probably leave a little bit of gap here at the top, like she's saying. Flip it over and then add some more on the bottom to make it 2 layers thick. And I've got 1 or 2 layers around the outside.
Well, I'm going to tell you right now. Let's go see what we're facing here. Exactly. 16 cents is 16 cents. All right, they paid $38 shipping. And like right now, what's the size of that box?
23. We're gonna have to do 23, 19, 19.
23, 19, 19. Ooh, not ground advantage. Wait, not 15 pounds either, though.
That ain't gonna matter.
Yeah. Yeah, but now the problem is, what is ground saver is 75. We got to get a smaller box or 2 shipments. See, this is why I didn't want to pre-pack and give them an invoice.
They only paid 38 in shipping though, right?
Yep. They paid 38.
So they're not gonna get any shipping back.
Probably not.
All right, so let's go with
FedEx is 45, but I don't trust FedEx. FedEx ground economy is 40.47. So, yeah, this is going to be a little bit longer, but yeah, it's going to need cut down. And it may end up having to be in 2 boxes.
what if we can make it?
Ooh, I don't know what I just did.
What if you can make it instead of 19, you can make it 15
Well,
on the last one?
I don't know where all that went. I'm going to have to do it all again.
What are you
Dang
doing?
it, I don't know what happened. I must have closed it.
Why would you do this?
I don't know. Hold on. 1, 2, 3. Shipping. They paid individual based on the box size of each. So I'm going to combine them. What do you think? What measurements?
23, 19, 15.
23, 19, 15. Still 95.
What about UPS?
UPS ground saver 69.
Cut it down some more.
Yeah, or we're gonna just do
I don't think it's going to be any cheaper in separate boxes.
in 3 boxes, and it'll be
They're not going to go in cubic foot boxes.
the way you packed them.
Yeah, they're just too big for that.
Well, FedEx ground economy is $34. But where do we drop off of FedEx around here?
I don't know.
I
FedEx
don't
is
trust
horrible.
FedEx. Yeah, I see too many stories where they come in and they say, "Nope, you owe us $95 more."
Or 95% of the lost packages in our local community groups are FedEx.
FedEx.
It'll be a picture of a box on a porch. Say, this is my box. This is not my porch. Does anybody recognize this porch?
And FedEx dropped it off just in a random place.
And usually people say, oh, that's my cousin's house or that's my neighbor's house, and people arrange to get, to come by and pick it up.
Yeah, I hate when FedEx comes.
Needed your encouragement today, guys. Thanks. Now, do you need gentle encouragement, or do you want me to do some like drill sergeant yelling at you? We can give you whichever one you want.
No. No.
I'm gonna pick on Janiyah here, because sometimes she wants to do more on Depop, because she does really well. She has good stuff. She sells stuff.
Janiyah is my son's girlfriend, so just for those of you who don't know the backstory.
She'll have a day off, and she'll have talked to me like in the previous few days about wanting to sell more on Depop, and I'll just send her a text, say, hey, you gonna get up and do a little work today? Or you gonna be in there in your room on your lazy butt doing nothing and not progressing in life?
And doom scrolling.
And doom scrolling. I usually throw in doom scrolling.
Yeah.
And then a few minutes later, I'm gonna get up and do something in a bit.
Yeah. He's very motivational.
Well, Nona's daughter Annette, we mentioned earlier that we're gonna be in Asheville on Wednesday. So at the bins, we gotta get some boxes, so we're gonna go to the bins too. You can avoid the bins, but if you want to come have lunch with us, stop by.
We can do Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Why?
Because I like Chick-fil-A.
Yes, he does. Y'all, he has like 1 million points
I
for
do not. It's
Chick-fil-A.
only like 40,000.
40,000 and $1 million. The same. What does that tell you about how often he stops and eats there or just gets a tea? All the time.
Be quiet.
Telling on you.
All right, let's get off here so I can get this thing chopped up.
We gotta figure this box out. This is crazy, good crazy, $150 crazy, but yeah.
We don't want
We
to lose.
didn't expect somebody to buy all of them.
And we don't want to lose $40 on shipping. So
Oh no.
I'm gonna do the one layer on the bottom and maybe 2 layers on top and cut this thing down and see how small I can make it.
I don't know. All right, y'all.
All right, Nona's daughter. If you're able to meet us, send Rebel a message and we'll meet you somewhere, either at the Ben's or at Chick-fil-A or whatever. If you want to eat somewhere else, that's fine too.
Yep.
Y'all have a good one.
Bye, guys.
Where's the mouse?
Don't know.
See there, you can go to the edit.